There's another dynamic that you talk about that's also really important, I think, which is American innocence. And so talk to us about American innocence. I feel like it resonates in a way that I can understand, but
Yeah.
tell us about your take on it.
Well, innocence to most people means purity or moral correctness, um, being good, being clean and clear in one's behaviors. I mean it here more in the psychological sense of not being grounded in the world with its hard school of hard knocks, with the darkness of life, the difficulties in being moral, because we humans, we all have feet of clay, and there's no nation state in the history of the world that has been without a moral blemish of one kind or another.
Yeah.
The innocence is not in a real tangible purity. It's in the belief, often erroneous or exaggerated, a belief that we are innocent or pure. And it's that self-conception and that self-righteousness that then informs our social behaviors as well as international behaviors.
Yeah.
We think we have a right to tell nations how it's going to be, to compel them to become democracies before they're ready, and not on their own initiative, but on ours. For a nation that's so grounded in its own image of itself as innocent, we've had a very dark history.
To me, the word innocence also connotes naivete. And
Exactly.
we go into situations politically, globally, showing incredible naivete. For example, going back to the Vietnam conflict, not understanding anything about, great holes. There's about all of our conflicts. It seems like if you look back, we discover how much we did not know. That
Exactly.
we come in arrogantly, starting to tell people what to do, what they need to do,
That's
and
right.
we
That's
have
right.
a history of massive blunders.
That's right. And at its worst, it leads to phenomena like the genocide or almost genocide of the Native Americans, the enslavement of hundreds of thousands of Africans. It's a real tendency that belongs to the heroic ideal in its youthful aspect. A young nation is innocent. A wiser nation that's older, that's been around for centuries or millennia, knows about this sort of thing. And if they've survived this long, they've learned that it has to be by cooperation and collaboration, not by conquest and dominion over other peoples and other nations.
Yeah, I think Europeans have often kind of looked at us with askance, if you will, because we are like naive children in some ways. They've been around longer. They've seen a lot of the foibles of civilization and so on. And here come the bumbling, loud Americans, or the ugly American, as characterized by Graham Greene.
Yes, yes, that's right. Now, of course, Europe had its days of youthful expansionism, and even as recently as World War II. Germany, though, it needs to be understood, was a nation that was actually, and still is, young compared to the French and the British, who've been an organized nation state much longer than Germany. Germany, up until I think the 17 and 1800s, was still a kind of a tribal. The Germanic peoples were tribal, and they were living in the Rhine Valley, and only did that get consolidated relatively recently.